confident that I fixed it. My rookie mistake. Of course, I could do it right the first week and wrong the second week. Let's see if we fixed it. At least I tried to get on early, so we're not having to waste too much time with my technical stuff. Yay! 100% fixed with me. Okay, just a couple of things to do. Usually when other teachers are live streaming, I'm on my computer putting comments in and checking everything, and I get to do that for myself, so y'all just bear with me. We're gonna go to Facebook. Hello, Facebookers. Anybody out there? Anybody out there? Anybody at all? Hope I deleted all the bad ones. Hello, YouTubers. Are you there yet, YouTubers? Yep, you sure are. Hello, YouTube. Almost ready to start. We're going to let people tune in. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Turn on schedule change. Okie dokie. Cool. Hi everybody, give me some comments. Hi Molly, hello Amelia, NJT, hi everybody. Anybody there on YouTube? Does it sound okay? All right. I'm going to let it marinate for just another minute as you get settled in. Oh, I see Phyllis and Lucina and Paulina. Hello. Okay. Let me give it one more minute. I'm going to pop out and be right back, but I'm going to let it roll. I know what I'm forgetting. The playlist link. Here it is. Let me share that with y'all. I think I can just copy it here. Copy. How could I forget? Hi Taylor, hi Jessica. Yes, thank you. Hi Elise. Hello everybody. Here's the playlist. Let me know if that link works. I just copied it from my laptop, so. Hi Lisa. There we say hi Lisa. Hi Lisa. Times 3. Hi Kylie. Okay everybody. I think we'll get started. 10:35 sounds like a good enough time to start to me. Let me move that kind of out of the way. And I'll try to keep an eye on it if something goes haywire. Oh good, the link works. Hi Susan. Hello. Okay, everybody, you can make your way, please, to a comfortable seated position around the middle of your mat. And before you push play on your playlist there, you can use the one that I sent you today. You can use the one from last week if you really liked it. Of course, you could do your own Motown playlist or Pandora. I don't know, do people still use Pandora? Spotify playlists is probably a little bit more present. So today is a special occasion. And because I get a little nervous and it's out of my comfort zone, I wrote something up that I want to read to you. Today is my mom's birthday. She would have been 64 today, but she died in September after a short and epic cancer journey. And if I'm going to speak about grief for a moment, I'm going to have to contradict what I said in class that I streamed to you last week. So if you remember last week, I mentioned one of my favorite Marnieisms, that I am not angry, but I have feelings of anger running through me. Or, I am not anxious, but I have feelings of anxiety running through me. And that works so well for so many emotions. But for those of you who have grieved, you probably agree with me that grief is not a feeling that passes through you. Instead, it is all-encompassing. We feel it in our bones, our souls, and our broken hearts. And I actually think that grief explains a lot of what we're feeling as a whole surrounding this pandemic. It's a loss of normalcy, a questioning of reality, a not knowing of what the future holds. To me, at the heart of it all lies uncertainty. So in all this uncertainty, before today's class, I'm going to ask, what is certain for you right now? For a lot of us, it's our loved ones, whether they're together with us in person or through text and calls and Zoom and live streams, or whether it's through meditation or prayer. It could be time with your children that you wouldn't be getting if they were in school or daycare. It could be the new routine that you're finding, or the ability to move your body at home, or getting lost in a book, or even having time to read a book. For me, it's foot access to the green belt from my front door. My mom's love is also a certainty for me, and she doesn't have to be in a physical body on this earth for me to know that. Silver linings were my mom's thing on her way out of this world. Sometimes it feels guilty or privileged or naively indulgent to find silver linings in times like these. But if my mom could find silver linings every day while she was dying, then I feel permission to find silver linings during this pandemic. Please know that it's not a denial of hardships or of reality, and it certainly isn't an uninformed ignorance. But it is a coping strategy that gets us through. A coping strategy that can give us the tools to navigate this unknown with grace. My mom is the angel sitting on my shoulder, ever present. Sometimes I consciously work hard to be more like her. Sometimes I'm surprised when I witness her shining through in my words and actions. Anytime I do something charitable, I think of her. Anytime I draw a boundary that serves me, I think of her. And anytime I hear Shotgun by Junior Walker and the All-Stars, I think of her. So on that note, happy birthday, Annie Tanny. This Motown class is for you. Thank you for indulging me in that dedication. Let's get moving with some yoga. We'll start in a comfortable seated position where hopefully you are, whether that's on the floor or in a chair or your sofa. So go ahead and close your eyes or soften your gaze. Rest your hands comfortably on your legs or in your lap. Sit up just a little bit taller through the front of your heart and through the base of your skull. And take a few slow, deep breaths on your own. See if you can move your breath to the ends of your breath cycle, so that when you inhale, you're moving to the very top of your inhalation. And when you exhale, you're moving to the true bottom of your exhalation. Usually, you can push out a little bit more air once you think you're done breathing out. Let your breath be slow and rich and even in between those ends of your breath. Bring your hands to prayer at your chest and bow your mind to your heart. If you have a dedication of your own for this practice, or if you'd like to set an intention for yourself, you can do that now. Lift your chin from your eyes and release your hands away from your heart. Tabletop, please, all fours. So you'll make your way on to your hands and your knees. Place your knees underneath your hips and your wrists underneath your shoulders. You can either have your toes tucked like I'm showing here, or you can untuck your toes so it's the tops of your feet on the floor. Take an inhale, look up, drop your belly and fill your lungs. Into the sky and tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, look up, drop your belly, slide your shoulder blades down on your back. Exhale, cat pose, press your spine to the sky, tuck your chin, and hug your front ribs into your body. Inhale, cow pose, drop your belly, fill your lungs. Exhale, spine to sky, chin to chest, round your Child's pose, sit your hips back onto your heels, close your big toes together so that they touch, and rest your forehead down either onto the floor or onto your stacked arms or stacked fists. Of course, I forgot to say that you can push play on that playlist now, which I'm sure that most of you have. Your hips don't ever have to touch your heels. It's just a directional cue. They're moving down and back in that direction. Your forehead doesn't ever have to touch the floor. You could stack it on something. If we were in the studio, I would invite a block. You might have a book or a pillow or something at your home for you to rest your head down onto. So go ahead, in this child's pose, you'll stay in child's pose. Deepen your breath the way that you just did while you were seated. And see if you can still find the ends of your breath cycle. In this practice, there are so many things that change. There are so many variables and ways that you'll change. But one certainty in this practice is your breath. Go ahead and lift yourself up to a tabletop of all fours again. Place your knees directly underneath your hips. Extend your right leg straight back behind you so that your right leg is parallel to the floor. Instead of letting your low back sway like I'm showing and letting your low belly drop down, lift your low belly up to the front of your spine so that your low back is long. Then extend more back through your right heel And point your right pinky toe down at the floor instead of stacking open your hips here. Make your right leg completely straight and lift the back of your right thigh bone up. And take your left arm, reach it forward like you're going to shake a hand out in front of you, imagining that this is in a time when we could shake hands. Be okay with being wobbly. That's the point. We are not trying to be good at this, and we're not trying to be steady. And set your left hand down onto the floor. Set your left foot on the floor behind you. So I have my toes curled under. You can stay where you are now. Move this and cup. We've got the right foot down on the floor back behind you. The toes are curled under so that when you press down and back with your right heel, you feel a calf stretch. Press down and forward with both of your hands. Make your right leg as straight as you can get it by lifting the back of your right knee up to the ceiling. And then we'll create the same protection in the low back. Instead of letting the low back sway and the tailbone point up, hug your low belly into the front spine. You can drop your chin to your chest. Release, set your right knee down on the floor next to your left. One more pose in this sequence. Pick your right arm up to the ceiling and open the front of your body to the side of your mat. Exhale, thread your right arm underneath your left arm. Put your head and your right shoulder on the floor. If this feels too intense, you might enjoy sitting your hips back toward your heels. So it's the same twist, but more like a child's pose. You can always experiment with my variations and find which pose you prefer. Move your left hip backwards in space as you swing both of your hips 1 more inch to your right. Breathe slowly and evenly. Press yourself back up to a tabletop, all fours. And we'll hit that on the other side. Extend your left leg straight back behind you. That's right. Extend your left, is this the one I did last time? No. Extend your left leg straight back behind you. Flex your left foot and point your left toes straight down at the floor. It's hard not having people to keep me honest. Hug your low belly up to the front of your spine. And make the back of your neck long. Straighten your left leg completely. And instead of thinking about lifting your left heel up, think about lifting the back of your left thigh bone up. So the power comes from your glutes and your trunk in the center of your core. Keep your belly really strong. Extend your right arm straight forward like you're going to shake a hand out in front of you. So rather than letting the belly drop, tone your belly, hug your ribs in. Reach more forward with your right fingers and lift your right arm up alongside your right ear. Point your left pinky toe down at the ground. I say it because I could feel my own hip stacking open. Then set your right hand down onto the floor. Place your left foot down on the floor at the back of your mat. The toes are curled under so that you can press down and back with your left heel, and then drop your chin to your chest. Make your left leg as straight as you can get it. We still have a core engagement to support and protect the low back. Release, set your left knee down on the floor next to your right. Pick your left arm up, open the front of your body to the side of your mat. Exhale, thread your left arm underneath your right arm. Rest your head all the way down on the floor. Your left arm is extended straight out to the left. And because I don't want to turn my head away from the microphone and the camera, I'm going to leave you in the pose and talk about it while you're in it. Pull back in space on your right hip crease and move both of your hips another inch to your left. Then find something maybe that you can soften, something that doesn't need to be working, but you can relax. And you can soften your gaze or close your eyes as you breathe to the ends of your breath. Press yourself back up to a tabletop, all fours, and move your body in any way that feels good. So you get to move your ribs side to side or around in a circle. There's no wrong way to move right now, so you could be picking up your arms and your legs again. Some people like to stretch their wrists and their forearms by flipping the backs of the hands to the floor, or you could turn your fingers around to point at your knees. Anything goes as long as it's warming you up in a way that serves you. I've been hiking at the Greenbelt so much, everything feels really good to start to stretch out this morning. Downward dog. Tuck your toes. Stretch your hips up and back behind you. Your legs don't have to be straight and your heels don't have to touch the floor. So to feel a little bit of a warm up through the back of each leg, bend one knee at a time and reach the other heel a little bit more down to the floor. It's okay if it doesn't ever touch. The other side. And continue that pedaling motion or hold steady still in your down dog as you feel this pose warm up into your body. Then walk your hands back to meet your feet. You'll be in a standing forward fold at the back of your mat. You can bend your knees a lot or you can bend your knees a little. It's okay if you're up a little bit higher, but if your body's really high and your legs are straight, you might be feeling this too much in your back, especially if it's round. So bend your knees generously and bring your belly closer to your thighs. You can either grab a hold of opposite elbows or interlace your hands at your low back and allow your bound hands to drift away so you feel a stretch in your shoulders. I prefer ragdoll, it's one of my favorites. I said it because mine was not. Then release your arms so that they drape back down to the floor. Bend your knees a little more than they are. Drop your head and roll slowly to standing. Let your arms hang. Chin is the last to lift. Push your feet down and bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Inhale, stretch your arms out and up, reach high, stay upright. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your chest. 2 more times like that. Inhale, stretch your arms out and up. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your heart. Last time, inhale, stretch your arms out and up, reach high. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Moving on, inhale, stretch your arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Hinge at your hips, press your thigh bones backwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands either press to the shins or you can leave your fingertips on the floor. Exhale, fold, and drop your head. Halfway lift again. Inhale, lengthen your spine, lengthen the sides of your body. Exhale, fold. Last time, inhale, halfway lift, slide your shoulder blades down your back. Exhale, down dog. Put your hands on the floor. Walk your hands all the way to the top of your mat. And stretch your hips up and back behind you. Step your right foot forward between your hands. Help hike your foot forward if it didn't make it all the way. And set your left knee down onto the ground. Point your left toes back so you untuck your left toes and press down firmly through the top of your left foot. We'll keep the hands on the floor here. Bend your right knee straight forward. Move your hips down and forward. The goal is some sort of lengthening stretch in the front of your left hip. Then take your left hand, move it wide to the left. Mine's going to go off of my mat onto the floor. Lean your weight into your left hand and reach your right arm up to the ceiling. You're going to make the back of your neck long to look straight ahead. Do as I say, not as I do, as I crank my neck back to be able to still talk to the microphone. So reach your right arm straight up to the ceiling so you have a really long, really straight wingspan. Lean the base of your skull, the weight of your head more backwards. And take one more inhale, reach up. Exhale, put the right foot. Half split, start to straighten your right leg. You can either leave your hands forward where they are. You could walk your hands back to get a little bit more height with the chest. You'll feel slightly less. You can, of course, bend your right knee as much as you need to. Just a couple breaths here, isolating into these right hamstrings. Flex your right foot, pull your right pinky toe back towards your Rebend your right knee, plant your hands at the top of your mat. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee off the ground. Plank, plant your hands, step your right foot back next to your left and hold here for just a couple of breaths. You can shift forward and backwards from the balls of the feet to the tips of the toes, or shift your heels side to side to feel some heat building in your belly. Forward. Exhale, lower all the way to the belly. You can do that with knees up or down. Untuck your toes. Press the tops of your feet down into the floor. Also, like you want to click your pinky toenails down onto the floor. Inhale, cobra. Lift your chest. Slide your shoulder blades down your back and keep breathing. Make your legs stronger as you push your feet harder down. Take another inhale, lift the front of your heart a little higher. Exhale, lower down, forehead to the floor. Tabletop, inhale, hands and knees. Downward dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, stretch your hips up and back. Step your left foot forward between your hands. Help it forward. If it gets stuck, help hike your foot so it's flat. Set your right knee down onto the floor. Bend your left knee straight forward. You can untuck your right toes, so it's the top of the right foot on the floor, and bend your left knee straight forward. So what we're working on is a healthy opening stretch in the front of the right hip. By that, I mean sustainable sensation, nothing extreme. Then take your right hand, place it slightly wide, maybe off of your mat. Lean your weight into your right hand and reach your left arm up to the ceiling. Continue to move your hips down and forward. Push the floor away from you with your right hand and reach your left arm up more. Then take one more inhale, reach up with your left hand. Exhale, place your left hand on the ground. Half split, start to straighten your left leg. Flex your left foot and point your left toes straight up. If the floor feels far away, bend your left knee more. Then think nose to toes. Instead of a cat pose spine like I'm doing now, we think nose to toes to lengthen the spine a lot. Then you fold yourself in half at your hips if you need to feel more. Rebend your left knee. Walk your hands forward and plant them. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, plank. You can do this pose with knees up or down. You could modify by holding your knees down onto the floor. I think I'm going to do that this time so I don't get too out of breath when I'm teaching. Point your tailbone down at your heels instead of up at the ceiling. Push the floor away from you with your hands to fill out the space between your shoulder blades. Take an inhale, shift slightly forward to your toes or place your knees down. Exhale again all the way to the belly, bend your elbows straight back and lower. Untuck your toes, press the tops of your feet down. Inhale, cobra, lift your chest. This time, turn to look back over your left shoulder. Open your left chest more away from the floor, like you want to look at your left outer ankle bone. Back through center, inhale. Exhale, other side, turn to look back over your right shoulder like you want to look at your right outer ankle. Inhale through center, lift the base of your skull. Exhale, forehead to the floor. Tabletop, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. Slow down your breathing. Think about your dedication or your intention or what is certain for you just in this moment. How's your breathing? Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, take your feet forward. You can step, walk, or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, rise to standing. Reach your arms all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Inhale, stretch your arms out and up, reach high. Exhale, forward fold. Lead with your heart, press your inner thighs back. Inhale, halfway lift, pull the front of your heart forward. Exhale, chaturanga. That's just a Sanskrit word that means mid-plank. So you'll put your hands down, step your feet back, and lower either halfway or all the way. Inhale, cobra or up dog. You can lift your heart higher than I'm doing. I'm not going to demo it this week. Downward dog, exhale. Spread your fingers wide. Push the floor down and forward with your hands and stretch your hip creases up and back away from your fingertips, up and back away from your armpits. Then stand down more firmly, like you can make your feet heavier and your hands lighter. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, feet forward, step, walk, or jump to the top of your mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Inhale, stretch your arms high, deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, chaturanga, that's mid-plank. Put your hands down, step or jump back and lower halfway or all the way. Inhale, cobra or up dog, lift your heart. Downward dog, exhale. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back behind you. Exhale, touch your right knee to your right elbow. Touch your right knee to your right wrist. Touch your right knee to your right armpit. Inhale, back and high, lift your right heel. Exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Press crescent lunge. Stay on the ball of the back foot and rise to standing. So we've got all 10 toes pointing straight forward. Bend your right knee straight forward and lift the back of your left knee toward the ceiling. Open twist. Send your left arm straight forward, reach your right arm straight back, and turn your right shoulder open away from the front of your mat. Warrior two, open your arms. Place your back heel down. Doesn't matter what you look like in the transition. We've got a nice long stance. Bend your right knee straight forward. You can look out over the middle finger of your right hand. Straighten your right leg all the way. Inhale, reach forward like you want to touch the front wall. Exhale, triangle, right hand down. You could place the back of your right hand to the inseam of your right pant leg, anywhere. Or hand to block or book or whatever you have, or hand to floor. Turn your left chest open away from the floor and lean your shoulder blades back leg. Hold here, take a huge breath in. Exhale, stand up, warrior two, bend your right knee. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach up and back. Bend your right knee more. The left hand is not holding the weight of the upper body. Instead, the left hand is resting lightly on the left leg. One more inhale, fill your right lung. Exhale, chaturanga or down dog. Put your hands down, step back, and either lower slowly or lift your hips. If you're still moving, you'll lift up dog. Inhale or cobra. Exhale, down dog with me. Inhale, lift your left leg. Here's the fun part. Exhale, touch your left knee to your left elbow. Touch your left knee to your left wrist. I can barely talk. Touch your left knee to your left armpit. Inhale, back and high with your left heel. Exhale, step your left foot forward between your hands. Take a breath if you need it. Well, take a breath no matter what. Crescent lunge, inhale, rise. The yoga, we're not using our bodies, like I said last week, we're not using our bodies to serve the practice. It's the other way around. We're using the practice, we're using these shapes to serve the body. Open twist, send your right arm to the front wall, reach your left arm to the back wall, bend your left knee straight forward. Turn your left chest open away from the front of your mat. Warrior two, open your arms, place your back heel down, and extend your arms out parallel to the floor. Warrior two asks for a nice long stance. I'm looking, it said weak connection, hopefully it's still working. Stack your shoulders directly on top of your hips. Straighten your left leg all the way. Inhale, reach forward like ball. Exhale, triangle. I think it's still working. You do not have to touch the floor. If you have access to a block or a book or something, you can put your left hand on something on the floor. Turn your right chest open and lean the weight of your shoulder blades more backwards. Stay here, take a deep breath in. Exhale, warrior two, stand up and bend your left knee. Reverse warrior, reach up and back with your left arm. You'll rest your right hand lightly on your right leg. Lift the bottom of your rib cage above the top of your pelvis. And make your left arm longer as it reaches more back. Take an inhale. Exhale, chaturanga or down dog. You'll put your hands on the floor, step back, and lower slowly. Inhale, lift your heart, cobra or up dog, any height. Downward dog, exhale. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, feet forward, step, walk, or jump to the top of your mat. Sit down onto the floor. Lie down onto your back. If anything is certain today, it is core work. Once you lie down on your back, you'll get it over with. Plant your feet on the floor so that your knees are bent. Interlace your hands behind the back of your head. Wrap your elbows so that they point toward the ceiling above you. Curl your low back down into the floor. If you're anything like me in my home practice, this is the part where you may be stopped and you picked up your phone and you're checking your Facebook and you're checking your text messages. So just know that there are modifications for this core work. I invite you to stick with me. Your elbows are pointing up to the ceiling. Curl your low back down. Lift your shoulder blades up off the floor. So we're lifting from the shoulder blades, the chest, and the trunk, instead of just protruding the chin up and forward. Extend your right leg straight up to the ceiling. Press your right sitting bone forward toward the front of your mat. Take an inhale here. Exhale, drop your right leg halfway toward the floor. Hold for an inhale. Exhale, drop your right leg to hover an inch off the floor. Hold here, keep breathing. Lift your right leg halfway. Lift your right leg all the way, lift your chest higher, and twist your elbows up and over to your right. Hold for an inhale. Drop your right leg halfway. Hold for an inhale. Exhale, drop your right leg to hover an inch off the floor in front of you. Hold for an inhale. Exhale, lift your right leg halfway. Hold. Lift your right leg all the way back up through center with your elbows. Head to the floor, right foot to the floor. Take a huge breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Wrap your elbows up. Look up, lift up. Extend your left leg straight up to the ceiling. So we've got the chest and the elbows through center right now. We're not twisted quite yet, now that you know the spoiler alerts for the second side. Take a deep breath in, fill your lungs. Exhale, drop your left leg halfway, 45-degree angle. Hold. Drop it to hover an inch off the floor in front of you. Hold. Lift your left leg halfway. Straighten your left leg to the ceiling. Take an inhale, lift your chest higher. Exhale, twist up and over to your left. Hold. Drop your left leg halfway. Drop your left leg to hover an inch off the floor. Make more length from your left heel to your right elbow. Lift your left leg halfway. Lift your left leg all the way. Lift through center, inhale. Head and left foot to the floor. You can release your arms to wherever they're comfortable. One more thing while we're here on the back, extend your legs straight up to the ceiling. Your legs don't have to be straight. If it feels better with your knees bent or you feel like you can't push your legs straight, that's fine. Your legs can be bent. Push up through the ball mounds of your feet like you're stepping on gas pedals and reach your arms up to the ceiling as well. Pick your shoulder blades up off the floor. Imagine that there is a rope attached to the ceiling from your ceiling hanging down of your belly button. Take your hands and mime like you're climbing a rope that's attached to the ceiling. And so it's not really about the hands, right? It's about the way that your obliques work to pick one shoulder blade up off the floor and then the other as you reach each hand much higher up the rope than before. Keep climbing for 5, almost done. 4, 3, reach a little higher. 2, so that neither shoulder blade touches the floor. Last one, release, head and feet to the floor. Hug your knees to your chest. Could rock side to side. Then lift yourself up to a seat. Put your feet on the floor in front of you. Grab on behind your thighs. Lift your heart up. Lean back a little bit like you're making a V shape from your knees to your hips to your shoulders. This is bus stop number 1. You can hold right here. You don't have to go any farther. So you already feel the heat in the belly, right? If you need a little bit more, pick your feet up. See how I lean back a little bit so that the feet lift off the floor? Then I'm balancing on my hips. To feel something more intense in boat pose, Navasana, make your shins parallel to the floor and reach your arms. I'm going to pivot so you can see what we're about to do next as I face the camera. Move your arms to the right side of your right leg. Tip over onto the outside of your left hip. I'm not mirroring you. And so that your right sitting bone tries to lift up off the floor. If you don't feel wobbly, try to twist more. Inhale through center. Arms to the left, knees to the right. Pick your left sitting bone up off the floor and try to tip so far over onto the outside of your right hip that you get wobbly. For some of us, that's not a problem. Inhale through center, knees up, heart up. Exhale, feet to the floor, standing forward fold. You're at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold, and just step your left foot to the back of your mat. Crescent lunge, inhale, rise to standing, reach up. Exhale, open twist to the right. Send your left arm forward, reach your right arm back. Then place your right hand on your right hip. Reach your left arm up to the ceiling and turn to look down at the floor over your right shoulder. You might move your right hand to touch the back of your left thigh. Warrior 2, place your back heel down, extend your arms. Inhale, reach forward. We'll keep the right knee bent here. Extended side angle. Exhale, place your right forearm to your right thigh. Extend your left arm alongside your left ear. If you want to sit deeper, your right hand might go deeper, but it's not from reaching down to touch the floor. It's like from sitting down to touch the floor. Stand up all the way. Straighten your right leg and turn all 10 toes to point in the same direction. Make sure that your feet are parallel with each other. It's important that your toes are not pointing away from you at all for this next pose. Take an inhale, lift up through the front of your heart. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. You'll hinge at your hips to place your hands either on the floor or books or, whatever you have. So I'm going to turn to the side to show you something. Instead of round spine, even if you have to bend your knees or even if you have to take books or water bottles under your hands, pull the front of your heart forward and extend the tip of your tailbone more up and back so that your spine is long. And from there, instead of rounding your spine to fold, you fold in half the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen, and turn back to your orientation. Exhale, walk your hands around to frame your right foot at the top of your mat. Set your left knee down. Untuck your left toes. Half splits, a pose we have done before, but we'll kind of turn it into something else. Flex your right foot. And turn your hands. Move your left hand to the right side of your right leg. As you start to turn the razor edge of your right foot more to the floor, you might feel more of an outer hip stretch on your right side. You can bend your right knee as much as you need to make this pose happen for you. Walk your hands back around to frame your right foot, rebend your right knee, and step forward, left foot meets the right. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot to the back of your mat. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, open twist to the left. Reach your right arm forward, send your left arm back, and turn your right chest open. I mean your left chest. That's strike one for today. Open away from the front of your mat. Place your left hand on your left hip. Reach your right arm up to the ceiling. Turn to look down over your left shoulder toward the floor. You might move your left hand to the back of your right leg. Warrior two, place your back heel down. Extend your arms out parallel to the floor. Then inhale, reach forward like you want to touch the front wall. Extended side angle, exhale. Place your left forearm on your left thigh. Make your right leg as straight as you can get it. And extend your right arm away from your right heel, making a straight line between those 2 points. Breathe slowly. Stay here, take an inhale. Exhale, stand up all the way and straighten your left leg. Turn all 10 toes to point in the same direction. Inhale, heart up. Exhale, wide-legged fold, hinge at your hips. Imagine that you want to show the bottoms of your sitting bones a little more to the ceiling than at the floor. Like you want to spill, this is a weird cue, I know, like you want to spill the contents of your pelvis forward over your pubic bone to the floor. Weird cue alert. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, walk your hands around to frame your left foot at the top of your mat. I'm facing the back of my mat now. Set the right knee down onto the floor, so you're on your left leg. Untuck your right toes. Start to straighten. Did I forget anything? Start to straighten your left leg. You can walk your hands more back until they're underneath your shoulders. Then move your right hand over to the left side of your left leg. As you turn your upper body around to the left, you'll start to feel an outer hip or a T-band stretch in addition to the hamstring stretch. You can bend your left knee as much as you need to make that happen. And if you need to feel more, you can turn your left foot open to the left, like you want the razor edge of your left foot to touch down to the floor. Okay, walk your hands back around. Bring your left foot at the top of your mat. Step forward, right foot meets the left. You can stay there. I'm going to take a break. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Reach your arms all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your chest. Inhale, stretch your arms up, reach high. Exhale, forward fold. Press your inner thighs more back. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen all four sides of your torso. Exhale, chaturanga. Put your hands down, step back, and lower slowly. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Lift your heart, lift your ears off your shoulders. Exhale, downward dog. please make your way to a comfortable seat. Make your way to a comfortable seated position about the middle of your mat. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Rest your hands wherever they're comfortable, but let your elbows rest back underneath your shoulders so that you can soften in your upper body. And notice, just with no agenda, turn your awareness within and pay attention to whatever is true for you, without a narrative, without expectations. Those of you who take my class know that I quote my mom all the time on this one. Expectations are planned resentments. So let yourself be here with no expectations as you turn your awareness within and pay attention to what. Together, take a huge breath in, fill your lungs all the way to the top. Open mouth, exhale, sigh. Good. Extend your right leg straight forward on the floor in front of you. Bring the sole of your left foot to the inside of your right leg. Inhale, stretch your arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold over your right leg. Press forward through your right heel toward the front of your mat. And think nose to toes again instead of spine to sky. Okay, lift yourself back upright. Point your left knee toward the ceiling so that your left foot is flat. Then pick your left foot up and place it to the right side of your right leg. Flex your right foot. Place your left hand behind you on the floor. Reach your right arm up to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, twist with your right elbow to the outside of your left thigh, or you can modify with me by wrapping your right forearm around the front of your left shin. Sit up tall. Use your left hand to help you do that. Twist deeper, use your right arm to help you do that. You can turn to look back over your left shoulder or keep your chin in line with your chest. Okay, inhale, look forward. Exhale, release, facing forward. One more time, same side, one more pose in the same sequence. Lower the left foot to the inside of the right leg again, just where we came from. Then you'll place your left hand behind you on the floor. A little bit of space between your hips and your left hand. Reach your right arm straight forward toward the top of your mat. Slice your right arm through the air, reach to the back wall as you lift your hips up off the floor. As you lift your hips up, lift the front of your pelvis to the ceiling. I'm going to turn so that you can see the side view. Maybe you should have turned the other way. But as you lift your hips, you might lift your head up and back as you turn your right arm more open away from the floor. You can either keep your right foot flexed or point your right toes straight forward. Take one more inhale. Exhale, sit back down. Other side. Extend your left leg straight forward on the floor in front of you. Bring the sole of your right foot to the inside of your left leg. Inhale, send your arms to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold over your left leg. Flex your left foot. Think nose to toes. Then lift yourself back upright. Put your right knee to the ceiling so that your right foot is flat. Pick your right foot up, place it to the left side of your left leg. Place your right hand behind you. This is real close in. The heel of the right hand is really close into your hips. Reach your left arm to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Hook your left arm to the outside of your right thigh, or wrap your left arm around the front of your right shin with me. So what I'm demoing is a modification where you wrap the arm around the front of the leg. If you want to feel a deeper twist, you hook your left elbow to the outside. How deeply can you breathe in this twist? Inhale, look forward. Exhale, release, facing forward. One more time, sole of the right foot to the inside of the left leg. I'm going to turn to the side again. So you place your right hand behind you on the floor. Reach your left arm straight to the top of your mat and slice through the air to reach to the back wall. Lift your hips up off the floor. You can move your bottom knee underneath you if you feel like it needs to be more supportive. And you can keep this more like a side stretch or turn open more, like you want to look up underneath your right arm to make it feel more like a back bend. So it's up to you how deeply you take this. Take one more inhale to the side of your body. Exhale, sit back down and lie down on your back. Once you're lying down on your back, cross your right ankle to your left thigh. If you prefer half pigeon or a different version of this pose, go for it. You can use your right hand, press your right knee away from you, or interlace your hands behind the back of your left thigh. Release, other side. Press your left ankle to your right thigh. I know you think the video's frozen when I'm just still and quiet, but I don't want to talk the whole time you're in it. Interlace your hands behind the back of your right thigh. The reason why I like this version of pigeon is because it's accessible to more people, depending on the openness of your hips. But even more than that, it's because it's therapeutic in the low back as well. So you can feel this opening in your low back, especially if you point your tailbone more forward instead of up. Breathe. Release, unravel so that your knees are bent. And release your hands around the front of your right shin as you hug your right knee into your chest and extend your left leg so that it's resting, completely resting straight out on the floor in front of you. Reach your right arm out on the floor to the right and twist. Drag your right knee across your body toward the floor on the left side of you. It doesn't have to touch. It's okay if it does. If you want to rest it on something, a book or a blanket. You're modifying, you can place your right hand onto your left shoulder to kind of close the front of your body more firmly. Just a couple of breaths here. So you'll turn your head to look over your right hand. Center with the right knee. Hug your right knee to your chest. Other side, hug your left knee into your chest. Extend your right leg straight out on the floor in front of you. Reach your left arm out to the left and twist left knee to the right. It's okay if it doesn't touch the floor. It's okay if it does. your chin to the top. I love this with the shadows. I think it makes everything look crazy. Okay, back up through center with the left knee. Extend both of your legs so that the bottoms of your feet face the ceiling. Bend your knees. You can either grab onto your shins or your ankles or the outsides of your feet for happy baby. We're working to open the inseams, inner legs away from each other, away from the midline. Pull your knees down toward the sides of your ribcage. You could rock side to side or straighten your legs up. And release, hug your knees to your chest. Nice tight squeeze here. And then we release. Savasana is the name of the pose for our final relaxation. You'll extend your legs straight out on the floor in front of you. Extend your arms straight down alongside your body, palms face up. You'll stay here in this comfortable rest. If you could be more comfortable, make yourself more comfortable. I'm going to sit up and face the camera. So, as you might notice, I'm not sure where you are. I don't think you're quite at the end of the actual Motown portion of the playlist. It's up to you if you want to leave that going. At the end of my playlists, I do add my Savasana songs. So it's not Motown, it's a little bit more like a yoga song. If you would like some soothing, quiet music with no lyrics or beat, you can skip to the last song on the playlist that I shared with you. I'm going to talk you through this Savasana so that you'll be resting for just a couple of minutes. And I do encourage you to give yourself this rest. I know at home sometimes it's tempting to jump up and skip this last relaxation, but your body is asking for it. So close your eyes, but relax the muscles of your face. You can release the tip of your tongue away from the roof of your mouth and soften at the back of your jaw, relax around your ears. Relax the muscles at the sides of your throat. And feel that softness and that relaxation move down into your chest and into your belly, so that you feel a downward movement in your body, so that you feel a slowing down in your experience. Give yourself permission to be still. Give yourself permission to be here in your body, in your skin, in this moment. And I'll let you rest in the quiet for just another minute or two. slowly with me, begin to deepen your breath. And find movement in your hands and in your feet. Find movement in your arms and in your legs. And rock your head gently from side to side on the floor. Stretch your arms behind you on the floor. Take a long stretch through the length of your body. Fetal pose. Exhale, bend your knees, roll over onto either side. Rest your head on your bottom arm. And take as long here as you need. Then press your weight into your top hand. Press up to a comfortable seated position, facing forward. Bring your hands to prayer at your chest and bow your mind to your heart. Thank you so much for practicing with me this morning. Thank you so much for supporting our studio during this surreal time. I hope you have a really great rest of your day. Take really good care of yourself. Namaste. Thanks, y'all. See you next week.